Well, we hope everybody has had a nice little break in observance of Memorial Day, and then the week 3 of the virtual iRacing Northwest Cup and Truck Series presented by Tom Denchel Automotive Group have been taking off again, and it's road course with left and rights and carousels, chicanes, bus stops, and more. We welcome you to coverage back on this Monday evening of the Red Frame and Custom PSS 90 Tom Denchel Auto Group on LSRTV, your home for sim racing, and for those that are listening live on the Community Radio Network at crnspin.com. Good evening back in North Carolina. I am Wesley Outland, joined alongside, hopefully his voice will last. Long weekend in the last couple of weeks announcing motorsports. Greg Rentz in Spokane, Washington. And of course, we have another announcer that will be joining us from Race City, USA in Mooresville. David Polens will be on three-man broadcast crew. And as always, playing hooky, him, Charles Wooten, in the production chair, pressing the buttons. Hopefully his fingers don't get stuck with super glue. He'll carry all the production for us. Greg, back in the saddle again, but it seems like it's been 20 days since we've worked together.
It's been a while, and looking forward to getting back here. Was counting it down, saying, all right, when are we getting back to racing with the Northwest Cup Series, presented, of course, by the Tom Denchel Auto Group in Hermas. Be back, and we're doing things a little bit different here, Wesley. The return is the first of 2 straight road course races here for the Northwest Cup Series, something they do about 4 or 5 times a year, but to my knowledge, this is the first time the Northwest Racing Series has ever visited Laguna Seca. A lot of guys were excited about getting the turn laps on this historic, prestigious road course. They've been getting the laps in. Don't have a huge field of cars tonight, but it's going to be fun to watch these guys snake their way around this historic road course.
David Polens also joining us as our member of the three-man broadcast crew. David, welcome to the Northwest Cup Series. What do you think we're going to see on the road courses tonight at Laguna Seca?
And it's going to be exciting, leading all the way up to that corkscrew there on the back end. You gotta love it when you're coming up over that hill. A lot of guys will back it up, try to just roll through nice and easy. Other guys like to charge at it and go as hard as you can. And you'll see a lot of guys up off the dirt. I'm sure these guys are struggling just now in practice, trying to get used to this place as much time as possible, Wesley.
These drivers are ready to go, prepared for race night. As these drivers prepare for their events, let's take a look at what is the Race on Texas race information calendar. By the way, Race on Texas, if you'd like to know more information, they take care of everything that goes on in the Arklatex area. And again, sign up today, pass account for only $39.99 a month, and help support local dirt and pavement track racing by selecting your home track. 50% of that monthly payment goes to the home track you pick each month. That is, again, signing up today at raceontexas.com. And the race information 411 includes a 30-minute practice session that is still ongoing. It's going to wrap up here. Qualifying will follow. 2-lap qualifying will set the lineup for what should be actually, we do not follow qualifying anymore like we've done before, but they're on the racetrack right now putting their times down. Qualifying drivers meeting, and then tonight's event will be 40 laps. Greg, that doesn't seem like a lot, but when you run on a road course like Laguna Seca, it will be like an eternity.
It's going to drag on for these guys, especially if something happens in the early stages, Wesley. Remember, they only have that one fast repair available to them. So if something happens early in this race and they have to use that fast repair, typically no cautions on the road courses here in iRacing. So if you have to get caught on pit road early getting a fast repair, that could spell the end of your night, and you gotta try to fight and climb your way back. And that Toyota coming right towards us right there, the Bryce Boutique number 46. Who's that going off there into the dirt? That may have been James Viney. But Wesley, going back to Brightsman, the defending Cup Series champion, he owned the road courses last year. So no doubt watch for him to be a threat in this one. However, this is the second road course race of the year. It was Lake Peterson who won the first one back in Daytona. Peterson, who leads the series in wins this year, looking for his second of the year.
So this racetrack is in Salinas, California. It is now known as WeatherTech Laguna, Seca. And there you see some of the signage on the board. Lexus, got a cool racing here in addition to the Northwest iRacing Cup and Truck Series. They also run the NT Series. IMSA runs here. Don't think NASCAR's ran here. They need to possibly think about it, David Polins, especially since course racing lately.
I know of all these extra road courses they got on a schedule, this has got to be one they put on the list. Like, you see everything they're doing. They have the Rovals. I'm actually a big fan of the Rovals because you can get a good view of the racetrack if you're there live in person. It's the only place road course-wise that you can actually see nothing like these longer, tricky road courses that they have. I prefer these as a driver. They're a little more smooth rhythm. You're able to get after it a little bit harder in the braking zones and down the straightaways. So I'm interested to see who takes over here tonight. Right now, it looks like BJ Tidrick is currently sitting #1, so that's looking good for him. We'll just have to keep an eye who takes over this Laguna Seca course. We were talking earlier, Wesley, actually, they have a competition caution, but we don't know when it's going to be. Between lap 15 and 20 is what we were talking about. So that's interesting. We'll just have to see. If you're going to use that fast repair, you better actually, I'd rather you use it early than late so you catch a caution to get back tag along with the field.
Yeah, basically somewhere between lap 15 and 20. We really don't know when it's going to be. The lights will illuminate, will go under the yellow flag, and it will be a caution. And I think it's good to keep them in suspense because they really do not know at the moment. Qualifying just about ready to race. Like Jeff Stabnow is right now the man that everybody's gunning after. Greg, he really, really needs to turn things around. It's been kind of a dismal season for the driver out of Billings, Montana.
He does have a road course win in the series, going back to the Charlotte Roval that we talked about last year. Matter of fact, I believe he won 2 on the road course last year. I believe he won the truck race at Canadian Tire as well. I have to go back and look for sure. So Jeff Stabnow knows how to get it done on the road courses here at in the Northwest Cup Series. He did win the truck race there at Canadian Tire, plus the win at the Charlotte Roval. So he has 2 career wins on the road course. Not surprised to see him up near the front of this one tonight.
So there we see some of the information. Weather presented by sawblade.com. Okay, it's 68 degrees. Wind speed 65 miles an hour. App temp at 116. Partly cloudy, but it's sunny right now. What's that going to be like for the cars on the racetrack tonight, David?
Man, 116 degrees, that's a seriously hot track temp on iRacing and in general in real life too. That 116, they're going to be sliding the rears up off. Like we were talking about the challenging corkscrew on the backstretch there. They're going to struggle getting the power down a little bit and even keeping the front end on entry into 1 and into the last turn. I can't tell you what number it is, but into the last turn, headed onto the front stretch is a really, really, really tight hairpin. So when you're coming up off, you're in a first gear situation, and that's where we're going to see a lot of guys losing control of the rear end of that race car with that 116 degree track temp.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that as we watch all these drivers working their way around the racetrack. Qualifying is about to wrap up. We will get up as these drivers will be ready to go racing here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca on iRacing. It should be a good one. Right now, Jeff Stabnow looking to be the man at the top of the board, but not anymore. Noah Sherwinski Stabnow, but Stabnow still in a comfortable place in the top 2. Also qualifying is Tidrick, Ottenbacher, Blum, all those drivers. We got about 25 of these machines ready to go here at WeatherTech Raceway. Should be a good one. We will step away. When we come back, we'll look at the point standings, and qualifying should be about wrapped up. We'll give you the starting lineup, and we go 40 laps here on LSRTV and CRN Sports with coverage of the Northwest iRacing Cup Series.
Everybody knows everybody. Well, they sure as hell know me.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's down. He's down.
Hold your first, hold that. After me.
Welcome back to coverage of the Northwest iRacing Series, and it is coverage from WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Wesley Outland, Greg Rentz, and David Polins in the broadcast booth. Charles Wooten on the production, and we are ready to roll here in just a couple of moments with the Team 126 Racing starting lineup as we get ready to introduce this piece of racing around Laguna Seca. It should be a good one. We will have it for you as the field is gridded behind sports car pace car. Let's give you your starting lineup. We're going to go 4x4x4 and give you the lineup here. Row number 1 will find Noah Shirley 6 machine. He is the fast qualifier. Ryan Blum will be on the outside of the front row in the number. Row 2 on the grid. We'll find the driver of Jeff Stab now from Montana, the 24, to the outside of him in the 72, B.J. Tidrick. Last time he won an event was at Darlington of last summer. Row number 3 on the grid will find John Ottenbacher, a former Daytona winner, to the outside, the defending Northwest iRacing Cup Series champion from originally Puyallup, Washington, now Tucson, Arizona. That is Sean Brightsman of the 46 machine. And to round out the top 4 rows, Caden Anderson in 37 from Yakima, Washington. Toby Ritters, the Ritters gang, is ready to go for Clifford in the 23 car. That's your top 4 rows.
Rounding out the top 10 will be the 31 of Kirk Mills making his Cup Series debut alongside Kevin Smith, who has had so much improvement this year, Wesley. He rounds out the top 10 looking to continue that top 10 streak. Carl Burke in the number 53, and another driver making his debut, Matt Gelder, driving the number 02 off in the 12th position tonight. Frank Harris and Chris White, 2 longtime stable veterans of the series, will make up row number 7 in 13th and 14th. Rounding out the top 15 will be Corey Walters, who is outside the Catman. James Vining rounds out. We're rolling here on the grid here, David. Row 17.
Taking from row 19 here, we have Aaron Cooper starting on the inside there in a number 71 machine, followed with Judd Wakefield in the number 50. Row 10, Robert Gambill and Dan Lothar in the 63 machine, looks to come from the rear there, and going to round out the field here in row 11, Troy Daggett.
So the field has been introduced. They'll make a lap around Laguna Seca. Remember, this race distance is 40 laps. You're going to see probably 2 or 3 pit stops. Some will probably be green flag runs. We do know there will be a surprise competition caution. Well, it's not a surprise. We know it's going to be a competition caution. The surprise will it fall under somewhere between lap 15 and 20. We will have a competition yellow. 40 laps, overtime if necessary. But Greg, I don't think we'll see that. I think normally these races go pretty clean and green. Probably that 1 yellow for the competition caution. And that'll be all she wrote. These guys better be prepared to be on the whip and be ready to make green flag pit stops when need be as well.
They're going to have to be very patient. They're going to have to pick their moments. They're going to have to drive smart here at this racetrack to be able to make this happen. 40 laps the distance tonight. We know there's a competition caution. We don't know when it is. We know the window. Question is, when will it come as they snake their way through my favorite part of the racetrack, right there, the corkscrew. I cannot wait to see these Cup cars ripping through there at speed here tonight as the field's going to get back stacked up side by side because we are about to take a green flag.
I got a question for you, Greg. What's going on with your mic, buddy? Did the tack attack your microphone or something? You're square.
I'm on a different microphone tonight. I don't know what happened to my usual mic, so I am on a different microphone tonight.
It's all good. We're ready to go. We hope you are as well. Sit back, strap in, and hold on tight. Pace car is in. Here they come. Pace car is 2x2x2x2. Ready to come to the line. Ready for the start after a 2-week hiatus. The Northwest iRacing Cup Series back under green here at WeatherTech Laguna Seca. We're underway. We are kicking the asphalt road course style. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race. Here they come at speed underway. 39 to go. Noah Sharinsky's out in front. Tidrick, Stabnow, Blum, and Anderson top 5. And Greg, they're all within a cat's whisker of each other as they work their way around that horseshoe.
You know who I'm not surprised to see up here in the top 5 right now? Right there, that Horizon Ford BJ time on iRacing. When it comes to the official ranks, the iRacing series races, he does road course. He doesn't really focus on ovals a whole lot, which is a vast contrary from his real life profession. He works on late models and modifieds and hobbies and street stocks for a living on the oval tracks. But here on the road course, because Sherwinski and Stabnow both go around, Stabnow still playing around in the sand, but give the lead to BJ Tidrick into number 72. Kind of a road course ringer here. Here comes Bloom to the inside. Drag race between two Fords here at Laguna Seca.
I'll tell you what, David, watching them work their way around the racetrack, it looks like they're really not wasting any time to roll.
They're definitely getting after it, staying aggressive here. The 116 track temp definitely is coming into play. Even the leader was struggling. He had gapped the field near 10 car lengths and just lost it there. Stabnow, after struggling all practice with his pedals, gets up front, gets a good start, is looking pretty, and then has to avoid the leader wrecking on lap number 2. Gapping the field in that Verizon machine.
The famed corkscrew that Greg mentioned, we'll keep an eye on that. By the way, it was a 40-lap race. Come on, him. He's been off too long. As they work their way through the corkscrew, it's actually now a 45-lap race. And actually, Dan Lisa advertised it as a 40-lap race, but it actually is 45 laps. Greg, an extra 5 laps of almost 15 miles.
Still fighting some allergies here in the changing of the seasons in the Northwest. Apologize for that little bit of
yeah, my buddy's not feeling good. That's why David Polins is here for us.
That is right.
Whoa, Tidrick with a problem there in that number 72 machine. He'll save his machine and keeps on going. By the way, this track has 11 turns here at Laguna Seca, and the next time by, when the leader crosses the start-finish line, which is currently the driver of Ryan Bloom in the number 25 Monster Energy machine, right there, you see his Ford coming down the front straightaway, well, coming down where some part of the race course. Whenever we catch him at start finish, we will use our blimp coverage presented by All American Pools, and we will give you a lap. And there he is. Let's give you a lap around Laguna Seca, shall we? First off, there is turn number 1 at the start finish line, right at the footbridge. You go in to turn number 1 and 2. That is called the Andretti hairpin, the horseshoe, the Andretti hairpin into turn number 2. A winder sweeper left to the turn number 3. Turn 3 will then put him past the foot tire bridge. There you see the Firestone Bridge right there. That'll make its way into the turn number 4. Turn 4, a little bit of a little half straightaway, a little sharp, little winder curve, if you will, as a driver right will go then back to driver left. That's between turns number 5 and a straightaway to turn number 6, which is right here. They'll work their way to turn number 6. Now they're on the Rahal straightaway. The Rahal straightaway will greet the drivers around a little windy curve from turn number 6 and 7. And then, Greg Wrench, your favorite part of the course, behind the Firestone Bridge in 888 to turn 9, it is the corkscrew. The corkscrew right there will then become the rainy curve at turn number 9. The rainy curve will then turn into a sharp right-hander at turn 10. There you see them working their way to turn number 11, to the garage area, the pit area, right there, turn 11, up top side, and David Polins, that's a lap around WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca.
And you just see Ryan Bloom getting it done here after several trouble with the leaders there. He seems to just be nice and cool under the wheel. He actually had fallen back, I think, somewhere around 4th early on that start, and just with attrition, he just moved his way up through the field. Now, place I'm seeing when we did that little wrap around this Laguna Seca is turn 5 was my favorite part of the course, besides the corkscrew, to make up speed. You can haul through there way quicker than you ever realized, but you got to be careful not to get off in the sand. The second place you want to watch, turn 11, that last turn, we were talking about it earlier. You can make or break your race there. You're better off take turn 11 nice and easy, get the rear tires under you, grab second, and now get after it for that long front straightaway. Back to you, Wes.
And Greg, you're a big fan of that corkscrew. Why do you like that? And there's a lot of craziness that can happen there if you're not careful going around that turn 8 to turn 9, the corkscrew.
I just love the technicality of that turn and how much speed they're carrying into it. You saw Bryson coming up on it there. He's coming out of it right now. The speed that they're carrying into that section, just to slow it down, as slow as you have to be able to make that initial left-hander onto the downhill. We'll watch Bryson here for a little bit, and we'll pick it up again when he gets there because he's trying to reel in Bloom. There's Anderson behind him in number 37, but that's my favorite part of the racetrack for the reason of just how much they have to drive the race car. When I say that, I mean they actually have to get up on the wheel and get that car through there. As you see Stab now with more problems, there goes the Catman of James Viney. We'll see if we can pick someone up coming up on the corkscrew here in a moment or two. I love just what they have to do to manhandle these.
Right in front, and Anderson with a problem. Right in front of BJ Tidrick in the corkscrew, and that's the reason why you like that action there, Greg.
Well, that's not quite the corkscrew just yet. We're coming up here momentarily.
Yeah, that was BJ Tidrow there, just missed it. He's trying to make his way back through the field after BJ lost the rear end of the car coming off of turn 4, and now he's working his way back up into the 3rd position after that spin. He's working on the leaders right now. He was a second off the pace last time by. We got to assume he's been just trying to get through some
screw.
Oh, yeah, here's the corkscrew right here now, that 46 machine navigating it perfectly. Sean Breitzman has ran a minute 29.76. He was 0.3 of a second quicker than our leader, Ryan Bloom.
And Sean Breitzman right in that number 2 position. There's Toby Ritters, the Budweiser number 23. I know we got our fans in the chat box on our YouTube broadcast in 4K Ultra HD quality, cheering on Clifford, the red car, the 23 machine. And right now, working their way back around what will be the corkscrew, if you will, for Toby Ritters, as they're on this part of the road course that is always exciting, winding, scary, fun around here at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. We are currently on lap number 7. There is Tidrick, who just had us to go for the most part, as he works his way now past start-finish line. Everybody kind of getting a little now. I guess they're ready for that competition caution, and I believe everybody will come down to the pit lane when that happens.
Question is, when is that competition caution going to be? It's going to hit, so we'll see when it hits and who uses what pit strategy to go there. Real quick, though, while we got a little bit of a break in the action, I want to talk a little bit about Clifford, Toby Ritters.
Yes, Clifford.
coming up on Tidrick, because you mentioned Clifford, and I just can't help but laugh, because anyone who's been to a race at Hermiston Raceway knows that we have our own version of Clifford. You know what a Hornet car is, right, Wesley? Little four-banger.
I do.
You take the roll cage.
I do. We call them Yukon.
Same concept, but V8 cars, V6 cars. So same concept, just a little bit more horsepower, right? Well, we have this one. It's not a car. It's not a bomber race car. That's what they're called, bombers. It is a straight-up red Dodge Ram that they just took the window out, put a roll cage in, and went race. A couple of years, I've been calling it Clifford the Big Red Dodge at the racetrack, and it's caught on. So hearing Clifford nickname here on LSRTV kind of brings me back to the Hermiston Raceway for a little bit there.
There you go. Well, I was always a fan of Clifford the Big Red Dog whenever I was the red car, the 23. By the way, they are in agreement. They do like Clifford the Big Red Dog, Clifford as the name of the car. So him is not happy with it. He wanted to call it Frog or Budweiser. So anyhow, shades of the. He wanted to call it Bud, right? But what is a Bud? Okay, Bud. This doesn't make no sense.
Well,
you're hit.
You guys are fans
Bud.
of the car and the driver.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fans of the beer on the machine, so I think we got a three-man fan here of Toby Ritters here. So, you know, and we got one off right here.
Fifth one in trouble right there. That's Troy Daggett, actually. Troy Daggett in 51 having an issue. As here comes Corey Walters going by him. It's I'm sorry that my producer's telling me not to give anybody. I'm deleting the track map. And I guess nobody won. Greg, you better save it. That's all I'm going to say. You better save the track map because I got to delete it.
Why do I have to save it? I'm
not deleting it. I'm not deleting it. There's Kevin Smith. Hey, by the way, thanks again to Hermiston Automotive and Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram GMC, the Tom Denchel Automotive Group. And man, he's been having some really good runs for that 00 Ford to finally go to victory lane. He currently sits, believe it or not, in the number 3 position on the racetrack.
Great run for Kevin Smith out of Hermiston, Oregon. For the number 00, having a fantastic run once again. Got his first career podium in the series and was in position to try and capitalize and get a win in the series a couple weeks ago at Kansas. Didn't quite come through with that top 5, but what a turnaround he has had. That Northwest ARCA series that has come to fruition this year has done wonders for Kevin Smith in the 00 car. A couple wins in that series, and here he is being competitive in the Cup Series. He always had speed, just had a problem on the actual race days. He's
hold on,
the commentator jinx gets him.
Oh, we ain't talking about you no more.
He held on to third. He kept BJ Tidrick, who's had his own roller coaster of a race, because just a minute ago we were talking about him in third. So he's they're getting ready to get back into a 3-way battle for the top 3 position here.
And how about another driver we need to give some props and love to? I don't want to jinx him, but Carl Burke, he's in the top 5. Look at him right there. The Howard's Automotive number 50 machine Chevrolet, looking good, Greg. He's in the top 5 here in the early going as we just passed lap number 10.
And he's looking good car-wise too, because I like that look that he's repping this week. That's a new look for the 53, so I definitely am liking the look of that car. And here he is having a top 5 run right now, trying to track down BJ Tidrick, who led laps early. But definitely a nice run for Carl Burke.
No doubt, Carl Burke getting up there in that 53 machine, looking good. I was a little afraid if you guys were going to keep talking about him headed into turn 1 there, because there's always a little bit of trouble there. I said, man, might be throwing another jinx our way, but Carl Burke's proving it wrong. He's actually gaining on that 4th position of BJ Tidrick. This battle's going to get really good headed into the corkscrew. Kevin Smith better hit his marks this time, otherwise he might get swallowed up. We got pit stops.
Man, pit stops early. I wasn't expecting this. Matt Gelder, the 0 machine, on the pit lane. Maybe strategy, Greg, to pit before anybody else and be ahead of the game?
Might be. I was wondering if someone was going to try this. They know the competition caution is coming. Kevin Smith again having problems in the corkscrew. But I was wondering if that was going to happen. Someone was going to try to get themselves off sequence.
No doubt.
Keeping an eye on Kevin Smith. Sean Brightsman off there just a second in the 46 machine. He'll save it to the number 2 position. Any moment now, we're going to somewhere between lap 15 and 20, we will see the yellow flag in this race. 45 laps. There's the Toyota champion, and that is Sean Brightsman right now, hitting his marks, doing a good job, working his way down the racetrack on some part of the speedway there. I want to say he's going to be closing in on that corkscrew that everybody likes, that Greg likes, and we've seen some interesting racing so far. There goes Brightsman one more time, a little weaseling around that corner there as they still look to run down Ryan Blum. I'm sorry, Sean Brightsman. There he is in second spot. Tidrick is third. He finally is holding off the likes of he got around Kevin Smith with problems now, guys. He's fell back to fifth as Tidrick and Burke have got past him as they work their way around the course.
I'm not at all surprised, guys, to see BJ Tidrick doing well here in the number 72. Can't say the same about right there his teammate Dan Lowther in the Northwest Sugar Camaro, having a kind of a rough day. Whoa, someone off track there. I think that was Troy Daggett, the third Team Ramrod entry tonight. But Dan Lowther got the modified out there on Laguna Seca here so far. No doubt he's ready for that caution to come out and get himself a fast repair.
I seen him earlier when we were talking. It looked like he got off also in a corkscrew. So definitely the most challenging, most exciting part of this racetrack has been that corkscrew so far. These guys heading in there just going, it's so easy to go over the braking zone because when you go over that hill, you're going so fast, the whole car just gets really light underneath you, and it's easy to skid the tires up into that area. We're still looking at, even though Sean Brightsman, you know, we were talking about him just a minute ago getting off track, he's still within 2.5 seconds of our leader Ryan Bloom. So he's got a fast car. He's been faster every lap besides that one time he went off. So he's right there. We got to keep an eye on that here in a little bit.
Well, we're going to watch it working here on lap number 12 of 45. There's the 96 car. It's been kind of a rough and tumble season for that man in the first year. We're going to watch and see how Noah Sharinsky do there. Noah Sharinsky on race course, and I was referring to the machine of Kirk Mills. We got some new talent that's in the field watching them, and some other notable drivers like Evan Smith is back to 5th. Caden Anderson, when his issue has fell back to 8th. Jeff Stab now 9th. John Ottenbacher is 10th. And again, we're working with the completion of lap number 11, working lap 12. There goes Kirk Mills. And you know, Greg, we noticed a time or two, we see some of these names that are road course ringers, if you will. Their specialty in iRacing is on the road courses. You only see them for these types of events, like Mills, like Sharinsky is what I was trying to reiterate it on, and we're going to see what these names can do here tonight. But the bottom line is this, man, I'm so impressed with Ryan Bloom. We look what success he had on the dirt at Bristol, but since then, Ryan Blum doing a great job out in front as the leader.
Doing a fantastic job. But Bloom has shown a lot of speed since joining the series, and I think he has been knocking on the door of a win in a cup or a truck, and it could have come tonight. He's looking strong early. It is going to be a strong run. Saw Dan Lowther off the track there. Not the night that he wanted out of Boise, Idaho. He's going to, no doubt, go ahead and get ready to take another shot at the road course next week, because next week we're at Sebring for the first time in series history. Another historic road course.
Another road course, 2 weeks in a row. And we'll have it for you. By the way, don't forget the trucks will be in action on Wednesday night right here on LSRTV and on CRN Sports for the audio cast coverage of the Northwest Cup and the Northwest Truck Series presented by the Tom Denchel Auto Group. Working now lap 13, just a couple of laps away. There's Tidrick and there's game of cat and mouse continues Polins as they work their way around the course.
No doubt. That's the 72 car coming up off of BJ Tidrick. He's trying to hold off right now. Carl Burke, who's on him real hot here, headed into one. They're separated pretty big going down that straightaway. Looked like Tidrick had a good run up off of 11. But right now, Carl Burke using that concrete to his advantage. They added that little extra patch a few years ago, and he's able to get a nice round through turn 1 and 2. Nice apex through there. He's actually reeling that 72 machine back in.
Bloom still out in front. Brightsman in sec. There's Tidrick. There's Burke. Greg, what a heck of a job Carl Burke's got going for him right now. He goes inside, driver right of Tidrick, looking for third. Trying to go to the podium, and the lap's winding down before the he'll go to driver left as they work their way up the corner.
Doing everything he can to try to get around Tidrick and get himself in position to go on board. With the 53 of Burke, this is the battle for third, and we're going to get a nice view of the corkscrew right here. There's that heavy braking zone that I was talking about. Slowing it down, downhill, picking up speed, shifting back through the gears. Gosh, I love that part of the racetrack so much.
Yeah, that's not what it looks like when I open up a bottle of wine, for sure. That's not what it looks like, a bottle of wine, but that's what they call the corkscrew there. And, man, there's a lot of craziness that happens on watching them working their way. I'll tell you what, that camera view, Dave, it was a perfect view to show you how hard of a winder it is to get around that racetrack.
Well, you were saying wine. These guys are going to need some wine or liquor after getting through that corkscrew tonight, man, because a lot of them are struggling, and they just made it look easy with two of them there, bumper to bumper. So it was a good job by those two. The guy that really stood out to me, you know, obviously he's leading the race, so it's easy to say he stood out, but we watched an angle there on Ryan Bloom that went through there, and here we go again in the corkscrew. That's the 50 machine. You're going to have to help me out with a name here. He went around on entry. Yeah, Judd Wakefield. Unfortunately, he's got to get going here, try to stay on a lead lap. He's towards the end of it.
Boom!
Problems.
Right Corey Walters.
Oh, look out, Corey Walters. Corey Walters just got into the Vape Hub entry number 5, Judd Wakefield. And gentlemen, we have passed lap 15, so somewhere within the next 5 laps will be the visit by the Banana Republic flag. Yellow flag should be forthcoming before lap number 20. And man, there's more cars onto the pit lane. There's more pit stops to be during this green flag run. Here comes Chris White.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to try to grab some tires before, and then maybe when these guys have to pit under that yellow, get track position. And I imagine that track position might be better than having 4 fresh goodies.
By the way, Chris White overshot his pit stall, and if you notice when he came back onto the course, Greg, and we talk about the blend line in real racing, they have it here in road racing. Even on the real iRacing oval races we've done. Line here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, you slither your way around this little cone area, and then you're not allowed to until you pass the blue cone. Then you can blend back onto the racetrack.
It's different at every single racetrack, and a lot of drivers will spend a couple of minutes in practice just coming off and on pit road just to make sure that they get it right. Oh, another problem.
Troy Daggett again, trouble in the 51.
And it looks like the Idaho native has had enough. As you see his teammate there, Dan Lowther, as well. Not a good night for Team Ramrod, except for BJ Tidrick, who's up in the top 3 right now. So you watch Sean Ottenbacher. He's a former winner in the Truck Series at Daytona. Still looking for that first Cup win. He's having a solid night right now in the 5th position. Nice run for the number 89, the LSRTV Camaro.
Road course racing here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna. Problems now on the 24 machine of Jeff's. Thing a miss on the 4K Ford Mustang. He gets back going again. I'm thinking he might have went off course, but he's back rolling in the 24. A couple more laps before the yellow flag will come out, and it looks like he's really either having some handling problems, David Polins, or the tires are shot on the 24 car.
And it sure looked like the tires were shot after he went off the track there. He had to get them cleaned up just to get that thing back rolling, man. He's just had a up and down day so far. He's trying to dig back. Believe it or not, that's your 9th place car. So that tells you how hard this racetrack is when even a guy up in the top 10 is struggling to get around this place.
Oh, yeah. working lap 17 of 45. Remember, somewhere around lap 15 and 20 in will be the competition caution. Carl Burke now getting passed for position. Hidrick getting around him, that's for third. I believe he just got passed by the 99 machine, or 96, of Noah Sherwinski. Noah Sherwinski starting to make his run back up through the field in the top 5 and 4th.
The only Bumblebee in the field tonight, Blake Peterson, who won the Daytona road course. The only other road course race of the year, not here tonight. Justin Yee, the original Bumblebee, not here tonight.
Caution. Speaking of black and yellow, we go all yellow around WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Caution is out as they work their way around the corkscrew. And we unwind things here after the opening fun 17 laps. Well, David Polins, what do you think, man, of the Northwest Racing Cup Series? And there's problems again for Jeff Stabnow in 24.
Well, they've been putting on a show, man. They're definitely, nobody's holding back. They're trying to be aggressive here. I like some of the strategy calls. We'll just have to see after all the pit cycles here. These guys are still going to be racing for another lap just to get called up so they're not so far behind. You know, some of them had problems, so they're going to try to get up with these guys just so they can be there for the pit stop. But, man, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. We know for sure our leaders have to pit, not quite sure who else. Could see some new names up in the top 3.
Much needed caution flag for sure for a lot of drivers, as they will probably all be coming down to pit lane. But the thing is, Greg, we saw cars pit unscheduled, or was it planned?
I would say planned, or maybe they just had to get the damage repaired as quickly as they possibly could, not waiting on the competition caution. So that's going to change things up here. We're going to get everyone back here on the same strategy. So going to be definitely interesting to see how this unfolds.
It's going to be big for these. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry about that, Wes.
Yeah, go ahead, David. Go ahead, bud.
It's definitely going to be big here for leaders if they do not come out front. You know, they're going to have to avoid these guys. Just like earlier, we seen just that crazy shuffle at the beginning of the race caused, you know, Jeff Stabnow was having a 4th place run until someone else really spun out, and he couldn't get around that wreck. It's kind of put him back there in that ninth position now for the rest of the race. So they got to race smart.
I'm thinking everybody within the top 10, they're all coming down to the pit lane. Maybe guys in the back behind the top 15, but everybody's coming to pits. Here comes Ryan Bloom and Brightsman and Tidrick. And come on, guys, we need 3 more to make it right. Okay, Bloom's in, Brightsman's in, Tidrick's in, Sherinsky's in, Burke, Anderson, Mills, Smith. Stabnow has not yet. I think he's coming in soon. Audenbacher, Ritters, the whole cavalry is coming down to the pit lane, Greg. It's pit stop time after the first caution on lap 17.
We believe this will be the only caution as the field makes their way down. Quick talk about Jeff Stabnow in the number 24. Wesley, you were still getting your pre-race notes ready. We had a moment to catch up with Jeff Stabnow. He said he was having some problems with the pedals on the number 24 car tonight. So looks like, despite a good qualifying effort, might be coming back to play that number 24.
Well, we'll have to definitely keep an eye on that for sure. So some pedal issues on the number 24 machine out of Billings-Montana of Jeff Stabnow. A pit lane is about to exit. Drivers are getting ready to come off of the pit lane, having work done. Matter of fact, we will jump down here real quickly, and we will Jeff Stabnow real fast and try to find out what's going on. We're understanding possibly a pedal issue on the 24 machine. Jeff Stabnow, can you give us more information on what's going on with a pretty decent start for you tonight here for 3rd at Laguna Seca? Laguna Seca is the place, WeatherTech Raceway. We will try to grab Jeff Stabnow again here in just a couple of moments as we are under the yellow flag. I have learned, David, do not try to talk to him during racing trim, because if you do, he'll crash his car. And I take blame for his wreckage road course, and since then, it has all gone downhill. So I wait for him to let me know when he's ready. Jeff, how's it going out? Started third, but understanding you got a little handling issue, a little pedal issue, if you will. Talk about it.
Yeah, I got pedals broke here a little bit. They're working, but I don't really have any pressure back on the gas pedal, so it's kind of hard to drive it. You know, and then the pits there, it didn't give me gas, so I don't know what's going on, so I got to go back in the pits.
Yeah, I noticed that before the caution came out, you were starting to have some handling issues. Is it because of the pedals?
No, well, yeah, inadvertently I burned the rear tires off because I spin them every time I try to get on the gas because I can't feather it. So, yeah, inadvertently I've overheated the rear tires, and there's just nothing left of the rears after a few laps.
And somehow it's my fault. I'll take the blame, Jeff.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I got to pit and get caught up to these guys, man, so.
Yeah, go ahead. We're watching you on the pit lane right now. So wow, that is a sharping for Jeff Stabnow. We will grab a word with Jeff maybe later on. Definitely having not a good night, David, as he comes back down the 24.
I've definitely had issues with my pedals before, and I'll tell you what, it's definitely not fun. I've had them where they stick. I've had the gas stick in the middle in some pretty big races, so I feel for Jeff right now, but I think he's doing the best he can with that 24. I mean, he stayed up in the top 10, even with all that being said. The other thing, we should have probably told him, make sure to fill that thing up with fuel. This might come down to fuel mileage. We'll just have to see. There's 25 laps. That's a lot of racing on a big track like this.
He better be in max speed when the green flag drops, because the lights are off on the pace car, and I think they're getting ready to come back to green. Sean Bright, the new leader, and they will be single file. I don't know. Will they get doubled up? I don't know. They're going to be single. They're getting doubled up. Here we go. Yeah, they're friends. They're friends again. They were single file going through the corkscrew. Now they'll get doubled up. This car coming in. Hopefully, Jeff Stabnow, the racetrack. And here comes the field ready with Sean Brightsman on driver right, driver left. BJ Tidrick, as well as Carl Burke. Burke spun the tires a little bit. And we go back to the green flag underway here for the second half of the race, just after the cup at Laguna Seca, or Tech Laguna Seca Raceway. And look at them working their way. Would you call this the S's, Greg? Would this be like the S's?
Maybe.
Kind of like the S's? Yeah.
I would say this track is the S's. Pretty much the whole course. You are right and left and right and left. You got a couple of sweepers, but man, we were talking about strategy. You see, we got some new leaders. We got BJ Tidrick back up there, man. He's got a shot again back at the lead. This time I think he's going to baby that throttle up off turn 4 a little bit easier.
You've got so many expressions. You have so many expressions for this racetrack. You've got, again, like I said earlier, you have the Andretti hairpin, which is what, by the way, what they were going through when they were going off the start finish in the turn number 1 and 2. The Andretti hairpin, you have the Rahal straightaway, you have the corkscrew, rainy curve. I mean, you got all sorts of names for all of these things that they're going through here at Laguna Seca.
Such a unique racetrack and one of the most popular road courses for sports car racing. You don't typically see stock cars wheel this track a whole lot. This has notoriously been a sports car facility, so definitely something unique to see these full-body stock cars going at it. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this race unfold through the second half of it. We're coming up on halfway this time by, and it's a battle between Brightsman and Tidrick right now. Tidrick trying to lead the way in a Ford over a Camry. Hi, Wesley. How you doing? In the 72 and the number 46.
Oh, you're funny.
I think I'm informed.
There we go.
It's the Mustang Camry for the lead, and that's not hashtag fake news. You got a Ford Mustang and the Toyota Camry battling it out here at halfway at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Look at this, David, up the leader. Tendrick has not won a race on the Northwest Cup Series since Darlington. Around this time, Greg, last year, and we remember how crazy that race was.
However, that was a crazy race, yes. However, he did win an ARCA race this season, the first season of Northwest ARCA Series competition.
I'm talking about the Cup Series. I'm talking about the Cup Series.
Yes, but his lone ARCA win came on a came on a road course, so
yeah,
that's a big little note to have here. That Tendrick's last win in Northwest Racing Series competition was on a road course. By the way, Caden Anderson has crept up into the picture as well in that 37 car.
Oh no! Understanding we got pulled out of the race now. Problems for Carl Burke in 53, and Jeff Stabnow is out of the race as well. We knew about the pedaling issues, but David, that's a heartbreak though for Carl Burke, because we were saying such a good run he had. The announcer jinx has hit again.
It has, unfortunately, for Carl Burke. You know, it's just the DNF is not something you want to have on race day, that's for sure. It's the number one stat you try to avoid. We got BJ headed down into turn 4 here. They're 2x2. Sean Brightsman on the outside, but that's not going to work for him going into turn 4.
Yeah, watch them as they work their way back up the racetrack in turn 4, turn 5, turn 10, turn 11, somewhere around there. This is an 11-turn course here at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, and there is your 3 cars right there fighting for position. BJ Tendrick with problems earlier, Sean Brightsman with issues, Caden Anderson with problems in the corkscrew and more, and now Greg Rentz, they're battling for the P1 spot just after halfway here at Laguna Seca.
Top 3 have broken away. But that 4th place car there, is that the 31 that's making his debut tonight? Brightsman with the bobble.
Wow, what a save. What a save, man.
Nice save by Bryson. There's the 31 making his debut. Nicely done for him. But look at this battle continue for the race lead. Brightsman loses a little bit of ground. There's Anderson lurking back there. Not able to capitalize, though. Give it to BJ Tendrick still in the 72.
No doubt that 46 machine, he got loose there headed into turn 11, but he was loose coming down off the front straightaway, just a slight left-hander before you actually get to 1 and 2. It's just a little bit of a dog leg. He's still considered the straightaway, but he's still trying to get them rear tires cooled down. Doesn't matter. He's back in the rear mirror of that 72 machine. Go back to you, Wes. Call them here. They're looking like they're going to be going side by side into turn 4 once again.
Yeah, they're side by side. The battle between Mustang Camry ain't stopped yet as they work their way back up the racetrack. And there goes Tendrick just pulling inside driver left of Sean Brightsman, and Caden Anderson falling back in the clutches though of the top leaders. About he's losing ground, or is he, Greg? Could he be setting up Brightsman and Tendrick as those cars continue to fight for the lead? Now single file as they work around back the corkscrew.
He's watching this battle and he is licking his chops, knowing that he wants to capitalize on this battle, and he could, because these guys are burning up their tires, battling it out. Anderson is able to save just a little bit, waiting for his chance to strike, and he may have it here momentarily.
It's time to go for that 46 machine, no doubt. Sorry about that, Wes. It's time to go for him, because we're looking at Caden Anderson is knocking on his back door. I'm sure that 46 is looking at this like, all right, it's either go now or we're going to be falling into clutches here in just a second.
Watch it as they come around the course here. Here comes Caden Anderson on driver left of Anderson. Oh, he's there behind Brightsman. Just could not seem to shut the door. He'll close in on him again as they work their way through the race course that is known as Andretti Hairpin. Up through turn number 3 and 4. Through 3 and 4. Now working their way through a little straightaway to turn number 5. Bridge into turn number 5. A short curve. Brightsman in contact, and it's Tendrick. Here comes it. Anderson wiggling and giggling, sway like candy from a baby on the concession stand or your high school sweetheart. Anderson once more, he's going after the lead as they work up to the Ray Hall straightaway.
What did you just say?
Oh,
Anderson!
Oh, Karma
Jeez,
comes
too
back
much-
against
Oh, man.
Anderson. Corkscrew, he locked him up.
And they're back where they
First
were
you
a
say
lap
it, then
ago,
you do
man.
it.
Wow. That was some
Wow.
action there through turn 4. Brightsman finally, instead of taking outside, tried to dive in, get on the brakes a little bit harder, and he about took them both out. Tidrick somehow still holds on to that top spot after all that. I thought he was going to be the loser in that battle. It looked like he was going to sail off into turn 4 after that 46 dive bottom just a little bit.
Greg, all I said was something that you refer to like cheesecake. I was just saying something of taking candy from a baby and, you know, taking away your high school sweetheart, and then he got spun again. So.
Yeah, why are you taking candy from a baby? That's rude.
Him said taking. Don't listen to him, okay? Don't listen to him.
Don't take candy from a baby.
Well, I mean, it's like taking candy from a baby, okay?
Why would you do
taking
that?
away your girl, you're taking away your high school sweetheart. I mean, come on. Oh, that's right. Greg is single, by the way. If anybody wants to know, yo. Yeah, if there's any ladies in the chat box, he is single and ready to. It's 20 to go.
Whatever.
Hey, maybe he was at David. Maybe as we're watching the battle for the lead again.
Here we go.
Comes Brightsman trying to get to Tidrick. Maybe he's telling us to shut up. Might actually. Oh, no!
Squeezing.
Oh,
That
Brightsman
back
in the
bumper of
corkscrew.
that 72 machine is about 20 cars wide right now, man. He is holding these boys off.
What a move
sir.
by B.J. Tidrick.
On the outside
Look
in
at
the
Brightsman,
corkscrew,
though.
you do not survive that.
Oh, Anderson off course.
This is like the last lap at the Glen with Ambrose, Keselowski, and Busch a
Yes.
few years ago, but it's gone on for, seems like 40 laps already, man. These guys
by
are
the way, guys,
putting on a show.
And as we come to the start-finish line under 20 laps to go, look who's behind them. Mills is in 4th, one of the road course ringers, and Clifford, Toby Ritters, Greg, is in the top 5 in car number 23. Keep beating and banging and gouging and fighting through the corkscrew, and somebody's going to go in there and spill that glass of wine and take the lead away from them.
And it could be Ritters because he's making a move for 4th right now. What a run for Clifford. Trying to get up there. But how about Bloom in at number 25? He has had to restart deep in the field, and here he is trying to get up to the front. Battle for the lead once again.
For the inside, driver left, here comes Tidrick. And it's been a while since B.J. Tidrick has won. Driver right, Sean Brightsman. He goes off. Go for the 2 for 1, 3 wide. He thought about it. Oh, he thought about it. He had to get on the binders, David, to avoid hitting the back end of.
I don't know how these guys
the
haven't junked
corkscrew.
all 3 of these machines, man. I don't know how they're still going. The fenders are still in one piece, everything, man. These guys are putting on a heck of a show. The 46 is more patient than I've ever seen, but Tidrick hasn't done anything wrong. He's just running his race. He does not have the fastest car, but he is still holding on to that top spot here. But, you know, Ryan Bloom's coming quick. He's got that gap down to 4.5 seconds. He may be catching up to these guys with the way they're racing.
David, Kirk Mills, Toby Ritters, and Ryan Bloom are coming. Give props to those other cars as well, man. Those didn't catch.
You are right, man.
The way through the Andretti hairpin. Look at those 2 cars. Look at Bloom. It's about to be a 6-car battle for the lead if these guys keep racing the way they are. Don't look out your rearview mirror. But Greg, the big pack of guys behind them are coming fast, and lap traffic is in the midst of the leaders as well. This should spice things up a bit.
Oh, it's about to get slicey and dicey here at Laguna Seca. To
Look
the
at
inside,
Anderson.
Brightsman
Oh!
again. Tidrick shuts the
Anderson
door.
goes around.
Lost it. Lost it. He just went around. He's dove in there too hard. Going into the red.
Oh, here we go.
Straight away, and you just saw him. Brightsman on the inside.
Headed into the corkscrew. This is going to be interesting here. Is Tidrick going to hold it again, man? Can he hold him? Looks like he does. Looks like 46 lets him in.
Normally, road course racing is not fun. Normally, it's kind of a snooze fest. But my goodness, these hell of a show here tonight at the Laguna Seca Raceway.
I think we lost
really have.
Anderson in the 37. Because I look back, and next car in line was that red number 31. Something happened to Caden Anderson.
Yeah, Caden Anderson went around there on the back end of the 46.
Yes, he did.
46 made that, too wide there. He just looked like he got in a little too hard, like he was planning on for the 2-for-1 again. But this time the rear end came around on him as Tidrick still leads him here. It just seems like every time Brightsman gets a run on him, it's in the wrong part of the racetrack.
So things have kind of settled down here for just a little bit. We are gonna, well, nope, not well. Yeah, okay, here we go. We're gonna go side by side because we do have to thank our sponsors, but you're not gonna miss a thing. Side by side as we rock and roll here at Laguna WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Tech, Seca. Well, I'm losing my damn mind here at WeatherTech. Laguna Seca Raceway is what I was trying to say. We'll come back with more coverage of the Northwest Cup Series presented by Tom Denchel Auto Group. We're going to go side by side, though, so you don't miss any of the action heating up here in California virtually.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do actually any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we'll do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything. Hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customers. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing. And if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. Because we do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees at yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
Wow, wow, wow. As we were side by side, you have your eye on the track and you have seen this battle between cat and mouse fighting over the cheese around WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna Seca. Wrightsman for the trophy, and they're not done yet, Greg, as they work their way back around the Andretti hairpin.
Trying to fight their way up. Tidrick and Brightsman have been fighting for about the last 10 laps, which on a road course, that's unheard of. This is an incredible battle right now between Tidrick and Brightsman.
And gentlemen, we have a special guest in the booth, and all I have to say
for the lead again. Brightsman's got
hey, is Jeff Stab now is it ain't my fault. What happened to you?
Yeah, just a rough night. There's about 10 things that's off. Just an accumulation of things, so I just parked it. I'm glad I did, man. I would not have gotten to see this battle if I hadn't. Holy cow,
man,
what a battle.
Yeah.
Something happened to Tidrill there in 5. Looks like he might have went off, because all of a sudden 46 just made that move, and now Tidrill's must have went off the track there, because he's all the way back to 6 now. That's a shame, man.
Tidrick.
What a race he put on.
What a battle. Those guys were fighting for the last piece of chicken on the dinner table. The crumbs and the mice were fighting over there in the dark night, and what a great job that Brightsman and Tidrick put on. That was some great racing there. And I heard that him robbed them. What's on with you lately, buddy? I mean, is it 13 the number? It's a bad number, a bad slump. What's you're just struggling this year, man. Maybe you should retire it and just operate Rocket Media LLC. What do you think?
Wow.
Oh, it's just a lot of bad luck. I mean, there's been some ridiculously silly things that have happened that have taken me out of the races. This one tonight's probably the most legit one I've had in a while. So, tonight was just, I just one little problem with the pedal, and then I just pounded it by getting frustrated. And, the more frustrated you get, just the more it compounds. So it was time to pull over. And like I said, I sure am glad I did, because what a race this is. I was having more fun watching this than I was having running it.
Yeah, it's a good show here at Laguna Seca, ain't it? Laguna WeatherTech Laguna Seca.
Hey, you got it right this time, man. I like it. You got to fail a few times before you succeed, and it looks
That's
like
right.
you finally nailed it. We got it with 14 to go. You heard it
say
here
that
first,
with a
folks.
tongue-tied. You got a WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna Seca. Say that 5 times fast, okay? And then
I haven't said it once
slip up.
tonight because I let you do the hard work, man.
Hey, I like this car, though, guys. Do you see this car, the number 31? This is Kirk Mills. He's up to second now. And you know what kind of wrap job he has, Greg? He has the Jurassic Park colors of when Jeff Gordon won the 1997 Winston.
The T-Rex.
The T-Rex Jurassic World, yes. Look at that car.
I couldn't recognize it with the white numbers on instead of the yellow numbers, but yeah, now that you mention it, looking at it, yes, that is the T-Rex.
Yeah. Tell you what, man, we had the All-Star race at Texas yesterday, and now we got the wrap jobs here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca.
We got the Monster Energy Ford, though, right behind him. Ryan Bloom led a lot of this race in the early stages.
Did.
Here he is, moving up into third, trying to get into the second spot now.
So, Jeff, you've been off for a couple of weeks, man. What have you been up to improve your driving, the Run 4 Championship?
Obviously not enough.
Whatever it is, triple it.
No, in all seriousness, though, Jeff, what is it like to be off for a couple of weeks and then you guys got to get right back to the whip again, and 2 weeks of road course racing at that as well?
There's been a lot of work that's really gone into this season and everything that was going off. So it was kind of a welcome break. I had all these plans and we were going to put all this work in and all that, and well, that didn't happen. First week we did a little bit of work. After that, well, we took a vacation. So, like I said, not enough.
Oh, my goodness. Well, here comes this battle of cat and mouse underway again, guys. And man, David, remember we had John Ottenbacher with problems in the corkscrew earlier. He's now up to third and fourth fighting for the win.
It's unbelievable, man. Some of these guys that have made the comeback, and Toby earlier was riding outside the top 10 for a little while, and he made his way up there, got in the top 10, and then now we're looking at him sitting up in the top 5, and Clifford back there behind them. Sorry about that. We got John Ottenbacher trying to make the move in that 89 machine. Beautiful LSRTV logo on the side of that. I have to say so myself. But good looking cars here. I do like that T-Rex though, man. No kidding. That changed the NASCAR. I'm pretty sure that's the day coil bind was made perfect.
If you ever remember that car, that was the car that he won the Winston with, and they told him never to bring back again, and that was for the All-Star race. Actually, true story. Ray Evernham talks about it sometimes, but that car was a nightmare for NASCAR, and they basically, what I was told was that everything within the basically, that car is one of the reasons why there is a black and white in the rule book now. There's no gray area anymore because that car, Greg Rents, was every gray area limb you could try to pull to get away with, try to, tweak and change and everything. The wrap job on that car, the T-Rex car, it only made one race, and that was the All-Star race in '97 when he won the Winston, and it's never been back since.
You know what my favorite part of that story is, and you mentioned it a little bit when they said it wasn't, or when they said never bring it back. Ray Evernham asked, "Why? The car is perfectly legal." And Big Bill just turned to him, took a hit off his cigarette, and said, "It won't be tomorrow."
And by the way, it was not 97. It was right exactly, and it was not 97. It was 98. I want to say it was 98 when he drove that car. 1997 was when Michael Waltrip won the Winston in the orange number 21. He won the Open and the Winston. So, yeah, man, we're just talking about some of the history. How about last night, man, at Texas? What about with Carl Larson? I mean, seriously, wow. Kyle Larson,
What
yeah.
an animal that guy is.
I mean,
If you
Kyle
want to talk
Larson.
about racing history, I mean, of course, we can talk about what Kyle Larson's been doing. How about what Brandon Overton did at Eldora this
Oh,
past
yeah,
weekend?
man, the dream. Yeah, he on all their butts, man. That's my buddy. Big Sexy, Slim Sexy now. Brandon Overton, $273,000. There's Chris White. And, man, I'm telling you, Jeff, back to you. What made you decide to, as we're, by the way, coming to the home stretch of this race, under 10 laps to go next time by, but what made you guys decide on the Northwest Cup Series and the Truck Series to change up the schedule and put WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca on the schedule? And what a great decision it is we've had tonight.
You know, we decided the first half of the season we were going to try to keep, pretty close to the NASCAR schedule, Road to Pro schedule. But the second half of the season, we were going to kind of have a little fun with it. We're going to try to keep away from doing tracks twice this year. And we were going to try to, get a good mix of intermediate, shorts, roads, things like that. And just try not to do the, maybe all the same tracks, especially on the road courses, because we've got so many opportunities to do different road courses out there. So we actually kind of took an informal poll of some of the drivers, some of the drivers' committee. LSRTV, we put it out there for some of the LSRTV guys to commentate on. We just asked guys to rank, the top 5 road courses that they would like to see a NASCAR race at. We didn't really tell them that we were thinking about doing it, and this one came back number 1. This was at the top of the list.
And we understand the reason why. It has not disappointed whatsoever. There is another driver that was in the top 5 earlier, now falling back into the top 10. The Ford entry of the driver of in the Tom Denchel Automotive Group entry of Mr. Kevin Smith. Another decent run, Greg. He just can't snap that string and get there at the home stretches. By the way, we're under 10 laps to go.
Trying to close in that Ford Mustang off the track, but trying to hang on.
I'm so tired of talking about you
Jinx
drivers
again, man. Got him. It got him again.
Got him.
Poor Kevin
Jeff,
White.
is that how you feel? Do you feel oh,
blue.
fun.
That's how I felt right there.
Hey, he spun out in a good way. He blocked the whole track. He didn't lose any spots.
Yeah, look at this. He's got Audenbacher and friggin' Ritters and Wakefield area. He held up traffic. I think Brightsman will appreciate that actually. So
Yeah, that was the old bunch him up caution, but they forgot to throw the yellow flag for it.
And Jeff, how about just some of the new we have on the series? I mean, we there was a time it was the Brightsman, Stabnow, Frazier, White also. But it seems like lately, man, we've got some new drivers that are on the Northwest Cup truck and the ARCA series that are really balanced and could win on any given night.
Yeah, what a group of guys we have, especially on the ovals. We're missing a lot of the top drivers tonight. I think a lot of the top guys didn't really want to do the road course. But, yeah, I mean, you've got Lake Peterson, Justin Yee. There's just, Caden Cole, BJ, Seth, Dan, Sean. There's so many guys on any given night that can go out there and win a race. And, it's not because the talent level's not there. It's just the talent level's that high.
Oh, yeah.
These are just excellent drivers. And, it's awesome. You got, you get into a 40-car field on some of these ovals that we've been doing, and you've got that many talented drivers out there. You're sweating it the whole race. It's not one of these where I can just drive up to the front of the end. I'm not too worried about it. I'll take care of the car and drive up to the front of the end. That's not happening. So,
and Greg and David, we saw some phenomenal racing between 3 drivers, and I got to say that's probably some of the best racing we've seen all year, possibly between Sean Brightsman, BJ Tidrick, and Caden Anderson. Greg, I'll let you go first.
spectacular racing from those three West. I mean, I have never seen 3 cars nose to tail in the Northwest Cup Series on a road course like that for that many laps. And that was not just like a battle for 7th, 8th, 9th. That was a battle for the lead. We've never seen racing for the lead that intense on a road course in this series. That was so much fun to watch. And real quick, we'll get back to it in a second, but this is the first of 2 road courses. We got another one coming up next week, so this is a nice little sample size of what we can expect next week as well.
David, rookie stripes coming off, road course style. What's your take of what you've seen so far here tonight at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca? Got it.
Wes, I'll tell you what, man, this is great action tonight. Made my job easy as we got one car off there, old
it's
Big
Ritters.
Red, Big Clifford went for a ride. He's going to be needing a few of them Budweisers at the end of this one now. But he's still holding tight. He's still looking good. He's sitting in the 6th spot there, even with that little off track. But, man, that top 3 battle, you don't see it often. iRacing is a very difficult program, especially on the road courses. You normally see a guy that just checks out. Man, we saw 3 guys just put it on the line tonight and never backed down. I loved it. The 46 never got impatient and just wrecked for the lead. He earned it. And Tidrick, man, that back bumper, I'm telling you, is wide as could be. He's awesome, man. That was fun.
Laguna Seca here tonight at WeatherTech Raceway. Sebring International Raceway coming up next weekend, and then or next Monday night, and then we go back to Pocono, which honestly, Jeff, it's kind of like a road course, tricky triangle. It's hard to negotiate and figure out, right?
You know, there's no banking. I mean, I think the corners are a little bit higher speed, but you know, we've got that old. I think there's a Milwaukee corner. I think turn 3 is there.
Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a lot.
Pocono Raceway is a mixture of 3 different racetrack corners. One is the Milwaukee Mile, another one is Nazareth, Pennsylvania, and the third one is, oh my goodness, which one was it? Help me out, Greg.
I think it's Trenton and Indy in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah. Yes, I think it is. Yes. Yeah. So, and then we have a nice little break off for the holiday, 4th of July. Then we go to the Nashville Super Speedway. And Greg, David, we're looking forward to that one because that is a new release on iRacing, as that just got released in the weeks to week for all the people that update their iRacing games and things. And NASCAR, a matter of fact, is in Lebanon, Tennessee this weekend. I will be there for that event as we have.
We got the leader off the track here.
Leader going off course, Sean Brightsman,
got plenty
with
of
6
gap.
laps to go.
Gets back on the track, but like David said, plenty of space back to Brian Bloom. No concern for Sean Brightsman. Gap-wise, the concern, though, is what did that do to the tires of the 46?
You know, Jeff, that reminds me of what you did at
Canadian Tire. Should I finish that one for you?
Canadian Tire, yeah. Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Very good friends at that place.
I did that more than once.
I noticed that is not on the schedule this year.
That's unfortunate, too. I actually won there last year. I'd like to redo some of these I can win at.
Oh,
You look good
see,
early
David,
today,
we have
man.
fun, buddy.
Oh, no doubt, man. I'm having a good time. I'm loving it so far. Nice, loose. Gotta love it. I hope the fans are loving it just as much here. You know, Brightsman is
speaking
putting on a show. And
Speaking of the fans, let's look at some of the comments as they are coming in. And let's see here. We don't want to make you feel like we're ignoring you. People are doing good. The Ritters family's in the house. Love the support, Jesse. I know Toby appreciates, so I'll definitely look forward to every race. Jesse Lentz says, I spent a couple of summers helping my brother in Washington State. I'm sitting over here. Okay, whatever that's about. All right. Let's see here. Any other comments worth talking about? Look out.
Mills. Off goes Mills in the
Wow,
31.
Kirk
That's
Mills.
the pass up by Ottenbacher.
That puts
Ottenbacher
Ottenbacher now to 3rd. Yes, sir. Ryder Live says, if I go to the top of my hill and see part of the track at Laguna Seca. I live 5 minutes from the track. At one time, I rode my bike around Laguna Seca. The elevation change, Greg Rentz, at the top of the corkscrew is crazy.
I can imagine that. I mean, we've seen it with that corkscrew that they're going through right now as John Ombacher. You can see it right there on your screen that the elevation change is insane coming down there. I would love to take a bicycle down that thing.
5.5 stories in 440 feet, and then it's another 5 stories down, you know, when you make that left-hand turn then before you get to the bottom of the hill there. So you're dropping about 10 stories coming down that corkscrew to the bottom of the hill.
It makes me feel like stomach's going to drop when you're inside the even on the virtual simulator. Does it feel like your stomach's dropping like you're on a roller coaster? Is that the best way to describe it?
You know, a little bit in
Jeff?
VR. In VR, it does a little bit. I'm not sure if you're on regular screens or not, but when in the VR, it does, because it's, you know, it's almost like looking at a helmet, and you come and you can't see anything, right? You aim for the oak tree. You know, and it's a leap of faith, man. You aim for the oak tree, and then you just crank the steering wheel right, and if you do it right, you stay on the track.
Hey, Charles, can we ride with one of these drivers? Let's say Toby Ritters. Let's ride with Toby Ritters and see what it's like for him as he makes his way to the corkscrew and see what it's like. And let's see if Toby Ritters, Clifford, is aiming for the oak tree, Greg, as he said.
All right, so he's coming up the hill now. He's climbing those 10 stories that Jeff was talking about here. This is the last left-hander before we head up the hill towards the corkscrew. We're going to get to the top. We're going to take a little bit of a right-hander. And then watch here. Here comes a little bit of a right-hander. And then find the oak tree. Where is it at? Oh, there it is.
Whoa! Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me, David, of like being on an airplane and all of a sudden you get jet lag and you're okay. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of there watching that.
Just shoot downhill, man, and when you're in the cockpit, you can't see really over the hood at that point of the racetrack. So you're just making sure that you hit your mark on entry, and that's what was blowing my mind with Brightsman, man. He could just get through there. It looked like he picked up 2-3 cars every time and never slip up. He just could do it consistent. That's the hardest part. I always go in there. I go in there nice and easy. Everybody gets on my bumper, and next thing you know, I gap them out of it. But you know, it's real tough. His Ritters here dealing with some either lap traffic or some wreck traffic, one or the other.
He's just happy to be there. He's
What a
trying
run
to run
by
down
Toby
Kurt
tonight.
Mills, by the way, for Clifford. What a run for Toby Ritters. Yes, sir. And he's getting better and better week in and week out. Man, John Ottenbach, for him, he struggled at the beginning. Ryan Bloom is right there in second. Remember, he spun out and he said, all right, guys, I'll clear the path for you. And he held up, he gave Sean Brightsman that big interval where it looks like it's might have got a little boring now, if you will, because it's about a 27-second lead from the leader, or 14 seconds, excuse me, from the leader, Sean Brightsman, to Ryan Bloom, who was there in second right there in that Monster Energy 25. But Greg, David, I hate for this race to end, but it's almost over. We got 3 laps to go, 2 to go here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. We need to go another 15 laps.
Yeah, it's actually been a very fun race. I knew that Laguna Seca was going to produce some very unique road course racing for these cars. This was not going to be your typical road course race, and we have been proven right. This has been a fantastic showing, and I'm excited to see the truck race here this weekend. And hey, Jeff, while we got you, you're big in the series. There's also someone else we haven't gotten to talk about it yet. Someone else, kind of an outside source wheel, really helped us get the setup in on this one. You know a little bit more about that than we do.
Yeah, we, you know, road courses really aren't my forte, and I was tight on time. So this week, and for Sebring too, we reached out to Michael Lett there with the major setup shop there, and his team put together the sets for us on this race, and fantastic sets. Couldn't be happier with them. So the ARCA car that we ran Friday night, which everybody, I didn't run it, but they all said it ran just like a GT3 car on here. And then this car, we asked them to make it a little harder to drive. I'm going to check that next time. That's probably didn't work out for me. No, we asked them to make this one a little bit funner and harder to drive, and they did just that, man. This car's a handful on here. It brought out some great racing. And then the truck, obviously the open setup series, but they gave us a set there for guys to run that don't want to build a set. And it's a great set, too.
Well, guess what? Here comes Sean Brightsman. He'll come across the start-finish line here and take the CRN1 to go. We are excited to have CRN, the Community Radio Network of TV, and simulcast our audio coverage of the Northwest Cup and Truck Series and the American iRacing League. If you'd like to know more, go to wearecrn.com. White flag in the air. Sean Brightsman, David Polin's final lap around, and he's looking for his second win of the season on the Northwest Cup Series.
Looking nice and clean here as he enters through into turn 3. Just a nice little sweeper right back into the left hand of turn 4, and he's going to start that big climb back all the way up to the corkscrew. Sean Brightsman been putting on a heck of a show. He had a lot of work for him earlier and finally made the move on BJ Tidrell, and ever since it's been all that 46 machine. He's looking to take that LSRTV just clean through this corkscrew. I'll give you right back here to Greg. He'll take it from here.
Coming down through the final lap of this race into the corkscrew, Sean Brightsman, he dominated the road courses last year. I think Jeff Stabnow was the only guy not named Sean Brightsman to win on a road course last year. Brightsman dominated these types of races last year, and here he is setting up for another one. It'll be his second straight Cup win as he won at Dover last time out. So back to back for the defending champion, Wesley. Here he comes.
Here he comes, originally from Puyallup, Washington, now from the land of cactuses. Sean Brightsman will come across the start-finish line, and he will win here tonight at WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna. Second and third now works their way down the straightaway here as it's Ryan Bloom out in front of about 5-6 car lengths, opening that advantage. Annenbacher for the top 3, and here comes Toby Ritters, like a win for him. Clifford looks good off the final turn at 11, and Ritters across the line and finish in 4th. Kirk Mills will also have a solid run in the T-Rex 31 colors of Jeff Gordon. He will finish in the rest of the field coming across the line. What a race. Sean Brightsman wins back-to-back on the Northwest iRacing Cup Series, presented by Tom Denchel Automotive Group after a 2-week hiatus. As Greg said, he won Dover. He tamed the Munster Mile. He's also on probation for the rest of the year, Greg, and he has made a statement, the defending Cup Series champion, now 2 wins in a row for the number 46. And Jeff, I know you got to be happy. He's a part of Team LSRTV.
Yeah, Sean's so good. Yeah, I got to tell you, he might have turned 10 laps in 2 weeks, right? The rest of us on Team LSRTV are out there practicing every night. He shows up on the last night, maybe turns 10 laps and wins a race. You got to love Sean.
Well, it was fun. It was a fun time. David, what'd you think of it, bud? A good race here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca.
I had a good time with you boys. We had a good time up in the booth. You know, good time for this 46 come down here to do some burnouts. I thought it was awesome, man. You couldn't beat that 3-car battle we had, and really was becoming a 6-car for a minute.
But guess what, David? David, you haven't seen anything yet.
I was just
wait until
David,
you get ready for
this. To be introduced to what we call the greatest celebration in the in iRacing. This is a tradition with the Northwest Racing Series. We call it the Demo Derby.
That's the Northwest high five, man.
You guys seen that coming? I had no warning.
I mean, you know,
it's the only way to catch that 46 car today.
Yeah, look out. They're going to take out the car next. What?
Yeah, look out. That pace car might want to move.
Somebody's coming at high speed. Somebody else got taken out. You hit the wrong car.
He got Ritter. Oh, it was Titter. Brightsman saying, all right, enough's enough.
Enough is enough.
If any of these fans have tuned in to the American iRacing League, I normally start the demolition derby before the checkered flag. These guys did it the smart way.
Oh, they at least wait till the race is over, for sure. Celebration underway. There's the rest of the field coming to the pits. And they will live to race another day, except for some will have new competitors riding with them, like Cheech and Chong right there for Tidrick. He's up in smoke. So, yeah. Let's take a look at the sawblade.com weather conditions after round number 12 of points racing, race 13 of the year. Jeff, we'll let you go, buddy. Man, it's hard. Well, yeah, the weather conditions. Yeah, we'll show you the weather conditions as well. Did I say weather conditions? I'm sorry. I meant the sawblade.com race results. My bad. We're in stitches here. Look at the interval. Sean Brightsman is your winner. I guess we're going to go 9 by 9. John Brightsman is the winner. Ryan Blum in second. John Ottenbacher is third. Toby Ritters, what a run for Toby. Clifford in the 23 finishes in the top 5. Fourth, Kirk Mills in fifth. Tidrick, Smith, and Gelder will finish in the top 8 positions, Greg, here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca.
And those are the 8 cars on the lead lap. One lap down was the Catman James Vining, with Aaron Cooper rounding out the top 10 here at Laguna Seca as we pick up 11th spot. Chris White in the number 83 with a nice run. 5 laps down after having some problems. Judd Wakefield, Caden Anderson up in the mix for that win, and unfortunately has the issue late in the race. Sherwinski comes home in the number 96, 14th position. Frank Harris rounds out the top 15. Corey Walters, Carl Burke, and Jeff Stabnow, your top 18 there, David.
Take it from here. Number 9, or in finishing 19th was 51 Machine of Troy Baggett. Then Dan Lowther finishing in at 63 and 20th. He had some struggles tonight in that corkscrew. It's a shame. He was doing good in practice, just didn't quite finish it out. And then we're going to round out our field. The 21st position to 54, Robert Galville.
Maybe I need to do my math next time and do 7, 7, and 7.
It's all good, man. You leave the rookie with the easy work, man.
I tried to share, damn it. I tried to share.
Hey, you made my job easy.
More hands make less work, as they say. Greg, I know you got to jump off here, bud. Me and David will handle post-race, bud. But your thoughts of this race here at Laguna Seca. And we're going to do it again with the trucks in Sebring in Florida next Monday night as well. Always a fun time working with you. Get that voice back again.
First of 4 straight road course races for the Northwest Racing Series, and man, this was far and away the best road course race we've had in quite some time here on LSRTV and in the Northwest Racing Series in general. That battle between Tidrick, Brightsman, and Anderson was one for the record books. I cannot wait to see what Tidrick and Anderson bring to the table next week. By the way, Anderson's coming in on a 3-race win streak in the trucks. He's looking for 4 in a row here on Wednesday and looking for some redemption. I can't wait to see what Anderson's got up his sleeve on Wednesday. But what a race tonight. Sean Brightsman back on his throne in the road course world. Looking forward to Wednesday.
And Greg, I just want to let you know, bud, that we did not forget about you the other day. You can ask him, ask Charles. I acknowledged you for your birthday here in the broadcast booth. I did. We are going to sing it. So I'm glad David's here, because David sounds like, so we are not going to sing. No, listen, happy late birthday to you though, bud. And I appreciate your virtual friendship. Never met each other in person, but definitely you are in the craft, in the trade of work like I am. If you don't shut up, I'm going to strangle you. No, in all seriousness, though, Greg, thank you, buddy. Happy birthday to you. And I always enjoy working with you here on the Northwest.
Yeah, thank you guys. Very much appreciated, and love working with you guys as well. And looking forward to Wednesday.
Yes, sir. David Polins, Wesley Outlet here with you. He is Greg Rentz. He's Steph Shut-Eye. When we come back, we will talk to the top 3 after a wild race here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. It is Mr. Sean Brightsman back to victory lane 2 in a row on the Northwest iRacing Cup Series presented by the Tom Denschel Automotive Group. And here is a fine word from our sponsor.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. They've done a great job in really creating a full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers.
Welcome back to coverage of the Northwest iRacing Cup Series, presented by the Dental Automotive Group. I'm Wesley Outland. Greg Rentz on the call. David Polins has also joined us here at Laguna Seca. We will talk to the driver of the number 46 out of Tucson, Arizona. Sean Brightsman, defending Cup Series champ and back-to-back winner on the series in just a moment. But first, we'll grab a word with our top three. And first and third place is the driver of G number 25. The driver of the number 89 entry. That is going to be John Ottenbacher. John, so David, normally I ask a question, you ask a question. We'll knock it out, thank their sponsors, and get off the air here. But John Ottenbacher, man, you had problems at the beginning of things. It looked like Laguna Seca wasn't your cup of tea. You turned it around and you finished in the top three on the podium.
Yeah, it's really surprising. My stomach hurts. I ran a lot of laps in this car, so it's, you know, I have to say I kind of deserved it.
Well, you looked good out there, man. I mean, early on, didn't have much to say. We were keeping an eye up front, and next thing you know, the 89 machine came into the picture. You just got to tell us how you got there, man. That was pretty impressive there at the end to get up there and get that top three.
I just kept plugging away, hitting my marks, racing the track. Really, not really racing anybody else. Just trying to hit those marks. That was the biggest thing.
No doubt, man. You got anybody at home you want to thank?
Oh, I got to thank my family for allowing me to do this. Love them guys, and got to thank Tom Dental Auto Group for giving us a sponsorship. Got to thank LSRTV for everything they do for us and making us look good out here. You guys do a great job. Thank you. And got to thank my teammates, Sean and Dan and Jeff with the Wick Chassis. And I think that's it.
Man, a good way for you, John Ottenbacher, to hang in there and get yourself a good, decent finish in what has been kind of a roller coaster the first 12 weeks of racing. We'll see you for the trucks on Wednesday, right back here.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
John Ottenbacher, the number 89 machine, will finish in the number 3 position. Problems at the beginning, getting around the corkscrew, go figure. And he says, forget you in a nice way, Laguna Seca. I'll show you when he puts himself in the podium in a top 3 spot. Runner-up of the race is Ryan Bloom, driver of the Monster Energy number. And we're going to grab Ryan Bloom if he is ready. Ryan Bloom, you got a copy. What a great job, a good race. And you will settle for second position here tonight at Laguna Seca. Ryan, you have a copy. Going once. Going twice. All right. I guess Ryan Bloom is not available for comment. I think he's having some technical issue. So Ryan Bloom will not be available to get any word. Good run for him. He finishes again in the number two positions. So we do want to acknowledge Ryan Bloom. Good job for him in the number 25. To victory lane we go. Driver of the number 46, originally out of Puyallup, Washington, now from Tucson, Arizona, defending Northwest iRacing Cup Series champion, and now a two-time winner at Dover 3 weeks ago and tonight at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Congratulations to you, Sean Brightsman. What an awesome job, man.
Yeah, thanks, Wes. That was a lot of fun. Talk about a up and down race with a lot of excitement, lots of position swapping, and a lot of great battles.
No doubt there, Sean, man. It was incredible there watching you and BJ Tidrick get after it. Sorry, Tidrick. You guys, you got to tell me, man. I was saying in the booth, it looked like his back bumper was 10 miles wide, like Ryan Newman style. You got to tell me how difficult it was to get by him.
Oh, David, it was probably the most difficult pass I've ever had to attempt to make and make multiple times. So BJ is a tough racer. He's very smart, and there was no good place to pass him. So I just tried to find the best location possible for the Bright Petite Tundra or Camry to get to, and it was just really tough. I had to get the grip down, the tires gripping, and get a good launch to be able to hold some of those attempts at a pass, and finally got it done around the outside there, and then locked him up going into the corkscrew, of course, and gave it back to him, and I tried all over again.
John, this is your second win in a row, by the way, might I add. You know, you're still up in the front. You're on the cusp of defending your title as well. 46. What can we see you? Are we seeing a trend? Are we seeing you coming back in championship like you did last year? And I mean, actually, you know, proving a point in the early going. I mean, 2 wins. You're leading the point standings. You're in the. I mean, how do you feel about your racing program going into the summer months?
I feel pretty good. I feel like we're in a good place right now. There's still a lot to work on and get more consistent going forward. So I know we won the last 2, but we didn't really show up per se and get the wins at other places. So if we can continue this consecutive streak and just kind of keep the top 3s, top 5s up, I'm feeling pretty good going into the chase here in September. So.
All right, man. Well, sponsor. Congratulations to you. Before I do let you go, can you tell us what it was like racing for the lead with Tidrick and Anderson the way you guys were? Hell of a battle y'all put on here for most midpoint of the race.
Yeah, honestly, it was a lot of fun. I anytime we have battles like that where it's swapping positions back and forth and just trying to set up, it just makes the racing so much more enjoyable. Even if let's say I didn't get by or Caden got around me or whatnot, that's what I look for out of racing. I love winning and everything, but building the rivalries and the great sportsmanship on the track is the big thing. So I like doing that and racing with Caden and BJ and everybody else, Jeff and Blake Peterson as well. So just want to thank Bright Petite for sponsoring the Toyota Camry here tonight. LSRTV, you guys do a great job in the booth. We love it. And Central Welding Supply and the Tom Denchel Auto Group. If you're looking for a new car, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or even a Ford, you can check them out at tomdenchelautogroup.com. They're in Prosser, Washington for their Ford dealership, and Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge is in Hermanston. Thank you, guys.
There you go. Sean, he's going to take my promo job away. There you go. Awesome job, Sean Brightsman, getting it done in victory lane. Again, 2 wins in a row after a nice little couple of weeks off. Again, he recently won at Dover, and then he wins here again. We are going to try to grab, I believe, Ryan Bloom, possibly, if he's available now. Ryan, are you available today's finish? You got a copy?
I'm here, yeah. Sorry about that. I had some technical issues.
No problem, man. wanted to give you a chance to get back in here. Second place in the race. What a good run for you, bud. We haven't really seen a lot of, a decent run. I don't mean to say this in a facetious way. We haven't seen a decent run from you since Bristol on the dirt.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm my mental exhausted right now. I thought I got a top 3, I don't know, a couple races ago, but whatever. Yeah, no, it was a good run regardless. Second place, I would have, if you told me I would have finished second on a road course, I would take that any day. But at the same time, kind of felt like a missed opportunity there with the speeding penalty on pit road and having to start back in 11th after I came in first was kind of a bummer, and really try to just come up the field as fast as I can. Just
And
doing
you
that,
did. My apologies. Yeah. You finished
Okay.
at Dover a couple of weeks ago. So, yes.
Yeah, okay,
Definitely.
thanks.
You're getting better.
Yeah, no, I am. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing some improvement and some better results. But I got to eliminate the mistakes like pit road. This cost me quite a few spots with some silly mistakes. But, yeah, the main goal was to stay on track, and for the most part I did that. I don't think I had any off tracks this race. But yeah, just put in a lot of laps. I'm not a road racer at all, so I knew I had to put in a lot of laps if I want to be competitive. So all in all, it was a good night.
Yeah, man, Ryan, you looked really good in that first stage there, and then the yellow, and we were wondering, I had a feeling that maybe you sped on pit road or something there because you had to start at the tail end and get caught up there. But, man, you really did run a flawless race, especially early on, and just left the field, and you still came back to run second. That was very impressive. Is running Laguna Seca kind of like a golf course? You're just trying to stay out of the bunkers the whole time? You're not even worried about the fairway?
Pretty much. I mean, it's you got to find that balance between running fast but not out of control and off track, because you get in that sand, you're pretty much toast. So I definitely a little conservative there at times, but then I caught myself overdriving some of the corners a little bit, but once I got in a rhythm, I was putting off some good lap times. I don't know if Sean's tough everywhere we go, so I don't know if I would have had anything for him there at the second half of the race if I didn't have that speeding penalty, but it would have been interesting to see.
No doubt.
All right, man, before we let you go, Ryan, thanking on the number 25 entry, and we'll let you go and get ready for the trucks on Wednesday.
All right, thanks. Looking forward to it.
Any sponsors? Anybody want to say hello to?
Yeah,
Espanol family?
Yeah, just want to say thanks again to Tom Dental Auto Group for coming on board and sponsoring the series. Really appreciate that and having them come on board. And you can check out their website, tomdentalautogroup.com. Great selection of vehicles. So if you're not in the area, they're out of Hermiston, Oregon. Check out their website. And again, thanks to you guys, LSRTV, for putting on the broadcast. And you guys do a great job and one of the best in the business. So I appreciate it.
Quite welcome. Thanks, bud. That's Ryan Bloom again, driver of the number 25 entry. He will finish in the number 2 position. We wanted to make sure for post-race interviews as well. That's going to do it. Sean Breitzman will move into Sebring International virtually for the Northwest Cup Series next Monday night with a 50-point lead over Christopher White. 55 points to Dan West Jr., who was not here tonight. Kevin Smith doing good in the top 5, along with Lake Peterson, who has the most wins on the series at 4, including Jeff Stabnow, Tidrick, Anderson, O'Hare, and Walters. Those drivers will be in action. Sebring International in Sebring, Florida, virtually next Monday night. For the trucks, they are in action on Wednesday night. Coverage, same time, same network, LSRTV, LiveSimRacing.com, CRN Sports for the audio coverage this Wednesday night. Greg gave his final closing thoughts. David Polin's a pleasure. What's your thoughts of what we saw here tonight at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca? Good time.
I enjoyed it, man. It was awesome working with you two tonight. Felt like the rookie stripes weren't too bad on me. You guys will give me the pointers afterwards, but I enjoyed every bit of it. They put on a show. The Northwest Racing Series, no joke, man. If I wasn't in the booth, I'd be asking to go race those boys. That was a lot of fun to watch.
A fun time for sure. And, of course, we'll get ready for the truck on Wednesday night. You'll have it right before the S&B Cup Series is well on Wednesday. That's the next broadcast coverage. More TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and CRN Sports playoffs tomorrow night. Of course, Wes Carter and Clayton. We'll have it for you on the Community Radio Network. Myself, for Greg Rentz, for, of course, David Polins, for Charles Wooten, for Rocket Media and Jeff Stabnow. I'm Wesley Outland. Congratulations again, Brightsman, winning here at WeatherTech Raceway. Thank you for watching. Be good to one another. Take care.